O brave new world that hath such people in it. That's the line from Shakespeare that inspired the title of Aldous Huxley's dystopian Brave New World. One of two classics written in the mid-20th century to warn us of the future toward which we were headed. The other I'm thinking of is Orwell's 1984, an absolutely hair-raising depiction of totalitarianism and of what awaited us if we didn't manage to defeat this strange new form of political organization. But I think that Orwell's novel was a masterpiece that helped prevent the future that it predicted by being so scary and so accurate about how things might turn out. It gave us a vocabulary and intellectual tools with which to combat Bolshevism, and ultimately, of course, we did win the Cold War. What about Brave New World? To me, although 1984 was the more pressing novel at the time that it was written, Brave New World has proved more prophetic of a deeper danger, one that comes not from outside the free societies, but from inside them. And every day, it seems, the newspapers bring further confirmation of Huxley's vision, of the accuracy of it over the long term. As Huxley himself said, his one big mistake in the novel was to set it 600 years in the future. He should have made it much closer to the present day. You read through the novel and the way it has replaced conventional religion with the worship of Henry Ford, who it's amalgamated with Sigmund Freud. This depiction of a fusion between mass-producing industries and big bureaucratic government. And a whirl of mindless consumption, increasingly genetic engineering, happy pills. The Soma is the perfect happy pill. It doesn't give you any kind of hangover or bad effects. We're not quite there yet, but it's astounding to see how many antidepressants, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, things are being given now to children as well as to adults. And parts of Huxley that looked ridiculous 20 years ago, for instance, that mother and father were taboo words, well, increasingly government forms don't tolerate those. There were some things that Huxley got wrong. He didn't really understand the progress of technology. He didn't foresee miniaturization. There are no smartphones in his world. There's no internet. But the idea of a people shallow, hedonistic, afraid of real emotions, afraid of ideals, constantly being distracted by things like escalator squash or electromagnetic golf or centrifugal bumble puppy, mouthing mindless conformist slogans, interested only in pleasure, leading lives that were totally unsatisfying. More and more, I'm afraid, that's the one that's actually coming true. Now, maybe partly it's because, for all his merits as a thinker, Huxley wasn't quite as good a novelist as Orwell. There's a lot that's harrowing in Brave New World, but there are also things that just aren't convincing, whereas 1984, you're living the nightmare from beginning to end. And I think Orwell was like Tolkien in his capacity to create on a grand scale. Huxley's a bit more like C.S. Lewis, probably actually a deeper thinker, but less of a consummate artist when it comes to writing. But also I think the things he was warning against are more dangerous and harder to combat. But if we want to combat them, let's all reread Brave New World. We probably encountered it in high school. We've probably forgotten a lot of it. And a lot more of it's come true with blinding speed. Pick it up and beware of a Brave New World that had that kind of people in it.